Broncos, Colin, 8-2 record. Yeah, that's the best in the league. However, Bo Nix continues to struggle. You know, that Thursday night game, holy hell, he was bad against the Raiders. Well, Chase Daniel, former NFL quarterback, has chimed in, believes Nix is in a hurry in the pocket, adding every single throw. Ball, it's just dying. He's not seeing the field well. This does not bode well going up against a Spagnuolo defense that had a week off to prepare for this game. This is a huge game in the division. If the Broncos somehow win this, Colin, you could just lock up the division. They're not getting caught up. They'd be up 3 games on the Chiefs.
I think Bo looks nervous in the first half. He's pressing. And then I think Sean Payton is overcompensating with the calls. You can't have Cortland Sutton, Evan Ingram, Harvey, J.K. Dobbins, Franklin. You can't have this many good players on offense, and you can't score for 3 quarters.
You think it's that good of a supporting cast?
Oh, I think Evan Ingram's super athletic. I think the receiving core has got a bunch of solid guys, long, can run. I like both their running backs. O-line's top 3 in the league. I'm sorry, Daniel Jones is putting up number 1 offense in the league with a similar supporting cast, with a good O-line and now I think Jonathan Taylor's better than anybody in the building in Denver. But the point is, you got to be better than this. You have to be.
So the few times I've watched Bo Nix closely when I've bet on the Broncos, Colin, the defenses are saying, we're going to play the safeties deep because we're not going to get beat on bombs. And I don't think you can matriculate the ball down the field on a 9-play, 80-yard drive. You're going to screw up. And Bo Nix is just like taking the bait. He's like, no, I got something deep. And he keeps chucking these bombs. And they're just not even close to happening. And Mims, his burner, out with a concussion. We don't know if he's going to be back. I just don't know if I trust Nix to have one of these ball control drives down the field.
Okay. Well, as someone who's watched every Broncos game and every Bo Nix game, not just the ones that I guess I have some sort of personal stake involved. I'm not so sure that's what defenses are doing, where they're just like, we don't believe that you can throw the ball. Like, I don't even know. I got really excited actually because I've been making a bunch of videos and I'm like, oh, you know, I got to make another video. What do I got to do? And then I remember that I had this clip queued up. I mean, I didn't watch it yet, but I knew it was a Broncos clip, and I was like, oh yeah, I literally, because I'm like, this is gonna be the last clip that I'm making today. And I just like jumped up and I was like, oh, I got a Broncos clip. Like, yes, let's go. And I'm pumped for this game. Obviously, naturally. I've been talking about it before the Raiders game. I was just like, I went on my whole speech, you either are or you aren't. You either are or you aren't. And this game does mean everything right now. The vibes, we always joke about like what do vibes mean for an NFL team. It's both can be inflated and made up. The way how Brew has done it with the supernatural funk or whatever with the Eagles. But then there is vibes as in like, how do you feel as a team? You know, how do you feel? What do you believe you're capable of doing? Do you believe that you're actually a top team? Are you getting antsy about the way you're winning, et cetera, et cetera? A team is a living, breathing unit. And you beat the Chiefs, it's just going to skyrocket you. It's not going to just be, yeah, divisional games are tough, or the Chiefs aren't as good as they've been in years back. No, it is going to be an absolute spark to create a massive, massive fire for this Broncos team. They're all going to believe we are legit, we are great, we can get after this. We are on track now to win the division, to have a top seed, if not the number 1 seed in the NFL. And you win this game, it's like, look what our defense did to Mahomes. We stifled him. Look at Bo Nix against that Spags defense. Like, you are going to feel like you are just ready to get after. If you beat the Chiefs, it's like, yeah, I understand that the Chiefs aren't considered the best team in the NFL right now, which is fine. But at the same time, you have to imagine they're still the hardest. It's still incredibly difficult to find your way through a win against the Kansas City Chiefs. And beating them, Bo Nix, Sean Payton taking on Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, I'm telling you, if think about how you feel as a fan if you watch that game and the Broncos win. you're going to feel like you are on top of the world, that you are just ready to conquer. You're going to be like, that's right. The reign of the Chiefs is over. Let's go. Broncos winning the division. You're going to feel amazing. The team itself, the coaching staff, the roster, the players, they're not maybe going to be as emotionally as hyped because they have to kind of, manage themselves a little bit more than, say, a fan sitting at home. But they're going to be fired up, man. And Sean Payton is going to use that to snowball into greatness. Absolutely, positively, 1,000%. You lose this game, and you lose this game convincingly. It's obvious that you are just not good enough. The Chiefs win 28-14 or something, and it's just clear that, you can't get this offense going. Yeah, this defense is great, and yeah, this defense is playing really high level, but, not against Mahomes, not against Andy. Travis Kelce keeps finding himself open. Rashee Rice hitting deep. Xavier Worthy on a nice little gadget play, right? And it's just there you go. Patrick Mahomes, you got him, but he's able to scramble, find his way through, make a big play. And you're just automatically feels like fool's gold. You automatically be like, well, we could have lost to the Giants, could have lost to the Eagles, could have lost to the Raiders, could have lost to the Titans, could have lost. You just be like, could have lost, should have lost. And it pops. And I'm telling you right now, the players feel it too. They understand that this is the game that matters most. This is the game that you figure out, who are we? Yeah, you're excited about beating the Giants. Yeah, you're excited about beating all that stuff does matter too. But in a lot of ways, it's already in the past. And it's about what's right in front of you right now. And Bo Nix plays great in this game, then there is no more, he's not seeing it. And defenses are saying, no, you can't beat us. It just automatically changes. This is the game. This is the moment for Bo Nix. He's at home. He's got the team momentum to be yeah, I am taking a big step forward. This is my year. I am a great quarterback. This is not a sophomore slump, Colin's not even considering a sophomore slump. Colin's already talking about having Sean Payton and the Broncos draft a quarterback next year. Which at this rate, who would they be drafting, because they're going to have a high seed? So even logistically, you're kind of but that is the conversation. It's what is wrong with this, and that has been the conversation throughout the course of the season. What is wrong with this offense? What is wrong with the offense? And people have said similar things about the Philadelphia Eagles last year, but at least they had that run game to consistently rely on, because they're oh, what's wrong with the passing game? What's wrong with the passing game? This has just been what's wrong with the offense? And this year, people are very concerned about the Philadelphia Eagles throughout it, because they're just the passing game isn't really there. It's been inconsistent. And the run game is inconsistent. And the O-line isn't as good. And the defense isn't as good. And they lead the NFL in 3 and outs. And you start, it's you can't, there's nothing for you to sit back on. And right now, offensively, for the Denver Broncos, there's not enough for you to sit back on. You're not well, we know the Broncos are going to be able to at least rush for 130 against that Chiefs defense. There's no strong sense of that. Even Cook and the Buffalo Bills going up against the Chiefs, there's a sense of Cook can cook. And you don't necessarily have maybe that same level of confidence. Not saying that you shouldn't have confidence. It's not saying that run game can't get going or do what it needs to do against the Kansas City Chiefs. But you don't have that same level of chest out. Saquon Barkley's definitely going to feast on this defense. You don't have that. And so that continues to put a tremendous amount of pressure on Sean Payton to find a way and Bo Nix to deliver. And I'm not even saying that this all should be on Bo Nix's shoulders. I'm not saying this needs to be a game where Bo Nix throws the ball 35 times for 310 yards. I'm not saying that either. They decide that they want to hand the ball off and run the ball 25 times because that's what Sean Payton sees fit, great, go for it. I don't know what the game plan should be against the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm not on the payroll. But this game means everything. And I am the king of minimizing games and their impact. I'm the king of saying, I just want to see you play well. I just want to see that you can hang. right? It's a divisional game, but like I can downplay or elevate any game in any given moment. To me, this game truly means everything right now. It means everything. And the Detroit Lions versus the Philadelphia Eagles, through the roof importance. The Seahawks and the Rams, through the roof importance. I mean, we're at the point of the season when you're trying so hard to make sense of, like, what did I just see? How do I make sense of the Broncos beating the Raiders in that way? How do I make sense of the Eagles beating the Packers in that way? How do I make sense of all the teams that the Rams beat, but then losing to the Eagles? Right? How do I make sense, but then losing to Mac Jones and the 49ers? How do I make sense of Sam Darnold's season with the Seahawks right now? Like, how do I make sense? And you make sense by right now going up against the other top teams who are also trying to make sense of everything right now. And that's the Kansas City Chiefs or the Broncos. And in a lot of ways, it's the same thing for the Kansas City Chiefs, because they're just like, yeah, we lost the Buffalo Bills, but that's the Buffalo Bills. Yeah, we lost the Jags. That was a fluke. Yeah, we lost earlier in the season, but we didn't have Rashee Rice. We didn't have Xavier Worthy. The Broncos are our little brother. We don't lose to the Broncos. We don't lose to them. Get out of here. They lose to the Broncos here. They're just like, oh, man, we really are not as great as we were. And the Broncos win. They're saying, yeah, you're not on our level. These things matter. These things matter. This is a big-time game and big-time pressure. Bo Nix knows it. Sean Payton knows it. The players know it. Do you elevate? Do you rise to the occasion in this moment? Yes or no? It is insanely important to get those answers right now. You need to know. Do you rise to the occasion? All hands on deck. That has not been great. Can you elevate? And we can just use Jalen Hurts as a recent example of doing that, not only obviously in the Super Bowl, but even this season. How this season was not unfolding. You had some weird stuff. A.J. Brown, offense can't get going, a ton of 3 and outs. And then the Eagles were in this moment when it was like, man, you got to elevate. You got to step up. And he did. Against the Minnesota Vikings and the New York Giants. Answered the call. That's a seasoned veteran. That's a guy who's now been there and played multiple Super Bowls, has proven that he can handle that moment. And it's not like I'm expecting all of that on Bo Nix's shoulders in year 2. But you do want to start to see flavors of that. You do want to start to see representations of that. And what better against the Kansas City Chiefs at home, where you're in a position to take a commanding lead. I'm not going to go as far as J-Mac, where you're just like, oh, the division's over, because it's football. Anything can happen in any given moment. But like, yeah, you take a massive, gigantic step to solidifying that. And you're not in Arrowhead. You're at home. You're in Denver. And you didn't have a bye like the Chiefs did, but you played on Thursday. You got some time off. You got to rest up. You got your little mini bye. You know the Chiefs. Sean Payton knows the Chiefs. Bo Nix knows the Chiefs. Everyone knows the Chiefs. So what are you going to do? That's what it's all coming down to. Oh man. I am so pumped for this game. We got such good games this weekend. It's unbelievable. I mean, we have a couple weeks where sometimes games are just like kind of like, who really cares? This weekend, they're like, dude, NFL's like, let's just, this week right now when we're kind of reaching a lull and people are kind of starting to get anxious and trying to look too far into the playoffs right now, these games may as well be playoff games. The Packers versus Eagles, like, that may as well have been a playoff game. This game right here is going to have a playoff atmosphere. I can guarantee you that. A playoff atmosphere. And if you win, you take one gigantic step forward to solidifying a home playoff game. Wouldn't that be nice? Yes, it would. You either are or you aren't. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Denver Broncos? Bo Nix taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. How do you feel about it? You feeling good? You feeling confident? You feeling scared? You feeling nervous? You feeling hesitant? Optimistic? Pessimistic? How do you feel this game's going to unfold? We'll be talking about this game a whole bunch. There's going to be plenty of first things first clips, I'm sure, with Nick Red and blah, 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 blah. Those clips are going to be hard to get through. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to try my best, but it's going to be a struggle. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.